I think it's Wednesday today. Is it Wednesday or is it Thursday? It's actually Thursday. Gosh, this week is flying by. So happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Jamie Green, the Solar Queen, and it's a good day today. It's nice and sunny, and my kids and we went to a solar installation today in Petaluma, just north of where I'm at here, and went and, everything was getting installed. The story behind the installation and how I found or met this customer was that we were at a park during the shutdown. We could go out to the parks and everything, and kids could play. And this little boy was there, and he was talking about flying and his passion for planes. And we ended up talking about how he flies a Microsoft flight simulator and his passion. I mean, he makes a YouTube channel about his flying, like his flight simulator stuff. So it was really, really cool. And so he went over and talked to his mom and said, "Mom, that lady over there, she worked at Boeing. She flew in the flight simulators and she worked in flight training." And so I walked over because they noticed that we were talking for a great length of time. And so I went over and just introduced myself to his parents and was, sharing about how I worked at Boeing and traveled and encouraged them to go up to the Boeing Museum of Flight and do a Boeing tour of the Everett facility, which for those who don't know, it is a massive building where they build airplanes in Everett. It's pretty awesome. So long story short, they wanted to go solar, so we went solar, and sadly, the spouse, one of the spouses passed away. So just recently. So here she is, the wife is going on and she's, getting solar installed. And I went there and we were like, she shared with me what was going on with her life. Hi, Corey. Yeah, airplanes, you're the pilot. In fact, Corey, I did mention them to you. So I might have to message you offline about something that down the road yeah, we'll talk. But so the wife passed away, and the surviving wife was just just like letting me know that what had happened, and I, of course, I'm like, well, your solar installation is going to be scheduled. Do you want to postpone it, or how do you want to do? She goes, no, just give me a week and let me figure out this new normal, because her wife just passed away 2 weeks ago. Today. So it's very, 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 like, just the story of, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Just we go from a meeting in November at the park to then, here we are today. So the installation crew was extra amazing, cleaning out the ladies' gutters, the homeowners' gutters, and taking great care of their installation. So I was really happy to see that they were showing some kindness and compassion. And her wife that passed away was really the one that wanted the solar. So it's kind of crazy to me how invested I get in my customers. Like, they become friends, and so to speak. And I took her some flowers and dropped off a gift and everything. But here we are. She's not gonna, I guess the sad story the story is, you just never know the people you're going to meet along your path. And I just hope that, I don't know what I'm saying right now, except for I just hope that she just heals, her heart heals and everything, because it's just so fresh. But I've never experienced this before with a customer where this is the case. And she still wanted to proceed with solar, and she's, going to be saving the money and not having to worry about rising rates, which she expressed she's looking forward to. So I just wanted to share that story, because it's really what the point of this video is, the things that came up in our conversation today in her front yard, which is, she asked me, can you give me some extra care? I might forget some of the things that you've shared with me when we sat in the backyard, socially safe, distanced, and with masks in their backyard when we were doing the initial consultation, to now it's installed. What happens next? Can you just remind me so I don't forget? And then she asked me, how do I know if my solar system's working? How do I read my utility bill? Can you show me some extra, just maybe more than normal for my customers? For your customers, can you help me, just guide me as I'm navigating through a new normal for her? So I thought, why not share with all of you who may be interested in solar. They don't have solar yet, or maybe you do have solar and you have no clue how to read your PG&E or your utility bill. So that's the purpose of this video. But I wanted to just share that, the story of the journey of this one particular customer, and the impact it's made on my life. So anyhow, she did ask for some help with that. And one of the things when you go solar, so I'm going to move on into the little lesson for today. When you go solar, whether you get what's called SolarEdge inverters, which is, or Enphase. Enphase is a microinverter, and SolarEdge tends to be a string inverter with power optimizers. You will, and inverters, again, I think I talked about it the other day. They are the one, it's a piece of equipment on your solar system that converts the energy from direct current that's being generated with your solar panels and converts it at the home level so you can use the alternating current that's running through your house. So when you go solar, most people that I know get the SolarEdge inverters and installed on their house. There's different reasons why you'd have the different inverters, and that's a conversation that we have in a consultation. But you get an app and you download it, and you want to, so this is ours, and you want to monitor it. So that's today's solar production. And this is yesterday's. So yesterday was a nice sunny day, and see the nice bell curve? It should look like that on a clear sunny day. Yesterday was 7.88 kilowatt hours. We have a small system. We have about a 4 kilowatt system size, and it generates on the summer days, it generates about 15 kilowatt hours a day. We don't use much. We use like 12 kilowatt hours a day. I don't know why, but we just don't use very much. I think it's because we just conserve energy. So yeah. So you want to monitor your production. So like this is the weekly production and this is the monthly. So you can see where everything's at. You can even see year by year, like this is this year so far. And if I scroll that way, that was last year's. And if I scroll, I think I can scroll again. And then you can see comparatively where you're at. I was talking with a homeowner yesterday, and they got solar installed. They got commissioned in September, but they never downloaded the app. And I kept texting and saying, "Hey, have you downloaded the app so you can monitor your production? It's really important to do that." And she hadn't done it. And what happened was the solar system started working, and then for whatever reason, I don't know what it was, but it stopped producing at the highest level. So we have a service call in for her, obviously, but she didn't log into her app until like a couple of weeks ago. And they were getting their PG&E bills, and they were like, "Why are we getting a true up? We shouldn't be getting a true up." So all that to be said, between today's conversation and yesterday's conversation, it's really important to make sure you're monitoring your solar system's production for one of two reasons. Just because it's fun to see how much energy you're generating on your rooftop with your solar panels. Like, I think that's pretty awesome. The other reason is to make sure that your system's producing and generating energy. And if it's not, then you need to call me or call your solar representative and say, "Hey, my system's not producing like it should. I think I need someone to come out and check the system." So that's why you want to monitor it. So you will get an app, Enphase or SolarEdge, and you will be able to monitor it. And it's connected to your cell phone. If you don't have a good cell phone signal, you can also have it tied into your home's Wi-Fi. So let's see. Spiro says, "If you purchased a new home and don't know your use, how do you figure out the system you need?" Spiro, that's a great question. There are some magic formulas that I do. And just in the conversation, I'm actually going out tomorrow to help to speak with a homeowner who's like literally closed on their brand new house yesterday. They're going from a 2,000 square foot home to a 5,000 square foot home. So we talk about things like, well, what kind of appliances do you use that are electric? Do you have air conditioning? How many people are living in the home? Is there a hot tub? Do you have an electric vehicle? I ask all these questions so that I can get a good idea of how to properly size the system. And so we do, there's a mathematic equation that I use, and it's basically you're taking the square footage of the home, the number of the people of the home, the kind of load that you're going to draw on the house you're going to be using on with electricity, and then I do like some math, and then voila, it will spit out the kilowatt hours, estimated kilowatt hours that would be needed on an annual basis, and then we size it appropriately based on different kinds of panel sizes, wattages, and everything, and obviously the direction of the sun against your property or your rooftop. So these people are going to be doing a ground mount, so we can mount the system in direct, like perfect direction to the sun, so they're going to get the maximum amount of energy that's generated through the solar panels, because we can place them, perfectly south facing. So that's really kind of how you do it. And so I've helped several homeowners that, a handful of homeowners that are new construction or they're brand new to the property, and we size it. And the thing is we're going to do a guesstimate, and I'm going to err on the side of the larger size, because people think they're not going to need as much, but then they get hit up with their very first bill and they're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. And so I tend to oversize the system so that when they get to the true up, and I'm going to show you our true up so you guys can see what it looks like and what to look for when you get your utility bill. So every month, so our true up's actually coming up in March, but every month the meter's read. The smart meters are digital, so they can read them remotely. And you're gonna see here, like this is for like net peak usage. When you see a negative sign, that means that's credits. Those are credits. So during the hours of 4 to 9 p.m. in April, we exported 48 kilowatt hours to the grid. We weren't using immediately, and then off peak is anytime from 9 p.m. to 4 p.m. the next day. So obviously when the sun rises to 4 p.m., we had a net credit of 82 kilowatt hours here. So that's so that you can see that there. And then they give you a cash value. It's just kind of sad how little it is, because it's not nearly the retail rate. It's going to be like a wholesale rate. And I think for this, it's like 7 cents a kilowatt hour that they give you the retail rate. So it's kind of crazy. But every month you're going to get it, and you're not going to pay it every month. You're going to pay it on your anniversary of going solar. So whenever your system got turned on. So I have a homeowner that just got turned on last week. Last week they just got their system turned on, and so their true up is going to be due every January, maybe February, because it starts on the next billing cycle. But here, as you can see, like in June, we pulled from the grid 10 kilowatt hours during peak hours, and then we exported 110 to the grid during the non-peak. So, every month you're going to see this. And then here at the end of the year, it's kind of a running total. And every month you pay something called, it's a distribution charge. So right here, right here is your distribution charge. And these are what's considered non-bypassable charges for the utility. You have to pay them. You do pay them on a monthly basis right here. But at the end of the year, they tend to give you like a credit. So they credit your account at the end of the year. So here you can just see the NEM charges before taxes, and state mandated non-bypassable charges, and then delivery charges, because you're still using the grid to export energy back and forth when you're overproducing and when you're pulling from it. So you should never, ever be surprised what your true up is going to be, as long as you look at your statement every month. You can go online, you can read it. And you should always kind of know, because I hear the stories of people going, I just thought my solar system was producing unlimited energy for my home, and that's clearly not the case. The systems are sized to your historical usage, and the utility company typically will only let you go up to 110% offset, which means you can get up to 10% more energy than you used in the last 12 months. For you to get these credits. Because if you size it 200%, if you doubled the size of your system, They're not going under the new NEM agreement, NEM 2.0. You can't go beyond that. They won't give you all this extra money and credits just because you've oversized your system. It's one of those things where you have to use it or lose it. So there's like this little sweet spot, because during the non-peak hours, which is typically when people are at home and when the sun has gone down, you're pulling from the grid and it's at a higher rate per kilowatt hour. So when you offset your solar system at least 20%, so 120% offset. So in other words, if you had a system that was designed to generate, you use 10,000 kilowatt hours in a year historically, you could go up to you could size your solar system to generate 12,000 kilowatt hours. So you have 2,000 kilowatt hours of a buffer to use for during the time of use, the peak hours. Because again, remember these rates, they're not retail, they're wholesale rates. So it's a way to offset that. So you're not being charged a true up for your usage during 4 to 9 p.m., especially during the wintertime. So I hope that this was really helpful for you guys. Just remember, if you have solar, monitor your production on your app. Get in the habit of doing it at least once a week, if not daily. It's kind of just fun to see what your solar production is. You kind of get to recognize the different production patterns. If you see anything change in a drop in your production, you need to reach out to your solar company or your solar representative to get that fixed straight away, so you don't get a huge true up, because you will. And some companies that have like 25-year production guarantees, and they'll help, like if your system goes down, they'll reimburse you for your for the time down because the system partially failed, and so they come out and fix it, and then they reimburse you at the time that you get your true up. So there's definitely, those are great companies to go with in terms of a solar company, installation company. The Freedom Forever is one that does that. A lot of them have them, local little ones have them. We have Freedom Forever on our rooftop, and that's why I know the production guarantee. If our system doesn't produce for whatever reason, they'll come out and they'll check it, and then they'll reimburse us if it's according to the degradation schedule, because there is something associated with that. So I hope that this was a helpful video for you guys. It's really important to think about your energy costs and where they're at. And if you're kind of really tired and frustrated of having to pay the utility company, go solar. You should really consider going solar, and you can reach out to me if you want to discuss your solar options. You can email me at jamiegreenthesolarqueen.com to get a free quote. I just need a utility bill and some questions answered. I just muted my microphone, so I didn't cough into it. And then the other thing I was talking about yesterday was you can join my 5-day energy challenge, which will help you, go through your house and think about your habits, think about your light bulbs, think about different things, and see where you're maybe like wasting energy and ways that you can improve that, so you don't continue to pay for that if you're not using it. So you can go to jamiegreenthesolarqueen.com/challenge and sign up. It's free. There's no obligations. It's just every day you're going to get a little video from me talking about ways that you can conserve your energy and save money. And then whenever you're ready, I'm here to help you. I can help people throughout California and many states in California, many states other than California, switch over to solar. So make sure you go and sign up for that challenge. If you want to, again, it's free, and I think you'll like it. I think you'll find I didn't think to do that, and you can do that. So have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will see you guys likely tomorrow. Okay, take care.